Hey, 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 it's Tia, baby. And I am back with another video. So, someone in the comment section that follows my videos since the beginning of my Selena venture, she requested me to to look at this video from a lady named Sloan that I guess she's a medium or a psychic. I don't know. But she is famous for talking about different deceased celebrities. I believe just deceased celebrities. I could be mistaken because I don't follow her. But more but it, and I told the person that recommend me the video to find it and watch it. I told her I'll watch it. But I didn't get around to it. But miraculously, I didn't have to search for it. It showed up on my recommend feed. So I was like, let me just view it. It's a 30-minute video. I will have a picture of it somewhere in this video so you all know who she looks like. And if you want to watch that video, you can do it on your own time. My thoughts about the video, I'm not even going to lie. After while watching it, my body felt weak. And it felt I was afraid to hear what she was going to say because it just I didn't want to believe it. Like, I'm a little emotional, but I'm trying not to let it all out because I don't know if it's true or not. But some of the stuff she was saying did make sense. However, I don't want to believe that Selena would cheat on Chris. I don't want to believe it. I'm hoping that that's not true. Because what she said that that Selena spoke to her and said that there was a man who was about 7 years or 8 years older than her. Now the thing about the doctor is probably not the doctor. It's not him. But she's saying that Selena has spoken to her, and there was someone that's a man that's older than her, that's like 8 years, 7, 8 years older than her. She was supposed to have a son by this person, not by the man she's married to, but by this person who was gonna, if he were to be born today, he would be in his 20s, early 20s, and he will become this healer, this healer that Selena was. Selena was like a healer, like she was coming through to people through music. He was going to be the same thing, but probably in another type of genre. It may not be music, it could be through something else. I just went weak because I didn't want to believe that. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to believe, but I'm mad. I'm mad because I'm all this time that I, you know, gave my thoughts and opinions about this person that I, I don't want to say idolize because I don't idolize anyone. I don't I am a Christian, and and that's not a part of my, we don't idolize. So I don't idolize her. I'm gonna get that straight. I don't idolize her. I admire her. I like her music. I like her. I'm infatuated by her, but I don't idolize her. I don't want to be her. I don't want to I don't worship her. Like, I may listen to her music just like I listen to other artists' music, but I don't worship her. I don't, get on my knees and pray to her. I don't, I don't listen to her all day, all night. I don't do that. I pray to God, my God. She isn't a God. She isn't my God. So let me get that straight. But y'all need to go watch that video, and please give me your feedback on how you feel about that and what you believe, because I hope that's not true. Now, my opinion about Chris and Selena and their marriage. Although I love them together, although they made a beautiful couple, although I had hopes for them based on his book, I had hopes for them. But I'm going to be honest, and I've thought this after reading that book. Even though he expressed, that they loved each other, they both expressed that. She expressed that in interviews. He expressed that in interviews. He expressed that in his book. I'm going to be honest. Had she been alive today, I don't think they would have still been married. And I know some of you guys are like taken back on that, like, what? Why would you say that? How can you say that? Because you got to have a clear mind. You can't be a puppet. You can't just think, put your heads in the clouds because you like someone. I say this because of the clues that I've gotten in his book. For instance, even though he enjoyed being the guitarist in her band, he wanted more. He wanted more out of his life. His dream was to become a rock star. His dream was to have his own band. That's what he wanted. Way before he ended up with Selena. That's what he wanted. Look at his admirers. The Kiss band. Prince is one of his admirers. Prince had his own band. Kiss, they have their own band. He wanted his own band down the line. He brought that to her attention. He was bored. He told her. He told her he was bored. He was tired, not bored of her, but bored of what he was doing in terms of his job, being the guitarist in his band. In her band. He was bored playing the same notes every time, all the time. And she was like, but AB, he gives you different notes. And he says, I understand that, I know that, and I appreciate that, but it's not the same. Like, he made it clear to her that he wanted to have his own band one day. He wanted that. He still wants that. But she wasn't having that. She told him no. She did not want that for him. She wanted him to stay in the band. Why she said this? Because she knew. She said, if you have your band of your own, if you go off solo or have your own band, we barely will see each other, and you will run out on me. He didn't even say, no, I wouldn't. He said, yeah, you're right. Because he knew. And the reason why she said this, because she said she grew up around musicians all her life. She know how they are when they are on the road. So there's no difference with Chris. She knew that Chris would get accustomed to that rock star life and that he will mess up. He will mess up, slip up. And she wasn't having that. So because he loved her, he said, all right, I'll stay. I'm not bashing Selena because I will probably be the same way if my husband or boyfriend, told me that they wanted to branch off and do other things with their career, I will be afraid as well, and I will probably, let them know I fear that you will cheat on me, because that's what most musicians do when they're on the road. They don't mean to do it, but the lifestyle gets a hold of them and they just do it. You got groupies. That's what groupies and stuff. They give you this. They make you feel like you're this god, and they gravitate to it, and it just gets out of control. And she knew that that was going to happen to him, because she seen that. Maybe AB did that. Maybe AB was cheating on his wife on the road, or I don't know, but she says she's seen it all of her life, because she's been around musicians most of her life. So had she still been alive, I don't think that they would have been married no longer than 10 years, because he would have grown tired of doing the same old stuff over and over again. And he would have grown resentful of Selena for not letting him, do his own thing. Now, I think eventually he would have still, had his band. And I think eventually she would have probably let him do it, especially if they had children. Because I'm sure once she had kids, she probably wouldn't be singing as much, because she probably wanted to focus on being a mother. She said that in her interview, and even in the book, that she wanted to. Well, now I don't know about the interviews, but I know in a book that he said that she will focus on being a mother, and then they'll probably give her more time to focus on her fashion career. So she may not be singing as much as she became, a mother. But I would love for them, of course, to be still married to this day. And this is my belief. Some people don't believe in it, but I do. I had this conversation with my boyfriend as well. I I even though in the vows it says till death do us part, I'm sure I'm not the only one that still feel them as still being married, because they were still married at the time of her death. And his name is on her tombstone. And we just, when we see him, we see her. She's like the closest, he's like the closest thing, next thing to her. So in a way, we all keep them as still married. But of course, in reality, he is free to do whatever he wants. He's free to remarry. He did remarry, but I don't believe he was happily married with the second wife, because I think he was using her to fill the void of losing Selena, and it didn't work out. The only thing that worked out between them was him having children. But back to the Sloan story, when she said that she was supposed to have a son. I don't believe, I don't really believe that she would cheat on Chris. I don't know what this coming from, because it just seems like she was basically talking about the husband, but she said it wasn't a husband, because she said that Selena told her in her past life, talked to her about her past life before she was Selena, that in a Roman life that she was in love with someone and was forbidden to be with that person because of her family, and she wanted to put her sword down and stop the war. But that does sound like a more prohibito. But she was saying that was about her grandparents. So maybe that really did happen with her grandparents. But and that's probably what she was talking about. She was probably talking about her grandparents, but it also, to me, it also, stems from her relationship with Chris. They wanted to be together. They loved each other, but they had to hide their relationship because their family didn't support it. I'm sorry. My phone stopped. But yeah, like I was saying, mainly the dad did not want them to be together. And so she in order for them to be together, she felt like they had to get married because that way it's sealed, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. Like, you can't do nothing about it now because we're married. You can't put a stop to this because I now belong to him. So that's what I feel she was trying to say. Sorry again. She she was talking about having a son. Like I said, I might have like the phone keeps stopping, so I keep forgetting what I was trying to say. But I do remember in the book that Chris said that they talked about having children. This was around the time before she passed, right before she passed, that they were talking about having a family together, that she wanted to have 5 kids. He thought that was extreme, but you know, he was like 1 or 2 right now and then we'll see. But he said that she wanted, you know, she loved sophisticated names, and she wanted one of her sons to be named, she loved the name Sebastian. Of course, that's a boy's name. So I'm thinking that the son that she was referring to would be Sebastian. But what blew me off was like, it wasn't going to be by the husband. It was going to be by the man that was 8 years older than her. That shit pissed me off. I hope that's not true, and I don't want to believe that. I do feel like it would have been by Chris, but I still feel like if she would have still been alive, because she said that the son would have been born between the year 1997 or between the years of 1997 and 2000. She did say that she wanted to have children before she passed, that she wanted to have children like in the next 5 years. So that was 95. 5 years later, that's 2000. Sorry again. So I think that that's the son she was supposed to have. But I do believe it will be by Chris, not by somebody 8 years older than her. I mean, because if you want to say she was going to have a son by somebody older than her, technically Chris is 2 years. When I am pissed, I'm pissed. But that's all I have today, because my phone keeps cutting off and then people calling me. So I'm going to just, leave it like that. You want to check out the video by Sloan, Bella, go right ahead, and don't forget to comment below your opinion about that. And yeah, that's all I got to say. All right, peace.